to you from FDR State Park in Pine Mountain, Georgia. My coworker Zach and I decided to go for a hike, a pre-Thanksgiving hike. We were originally going to go to Linville Gorge, but unfortunately the Table Rock fire convinced us that perhaps another spot would be a good idea. We weren't sure of the trails there and whether or not they were going to be open. It was more of a hassle than we wanted to deal with. So we decided to go to FDR State Park because it's fairly close to Gainesville, comparatively speaking, and it has several loop trails that you can link together. Today we are shooting for a 14-mile day, give or take. We're going to crank it out, cook up some dinner, explore for a little bit, hike back on down, camp near here. We're only going to be 5 miles from the parking lot tomorrow night. That'll be about a 12-mile day. Then we'll have a short day hiking on out on Tuesday, because we then have to drive home and, you know, get ready for work on Wednesday. It is a gorgeous 29 degrees out here right now. It was a little chilly sitting in the parking lot waiting for the office to open, but once we started moving, everybody warmed up just fine. It's supposed to get up towards the 50s today, and then it's going to drop down into the mid to low 20s tonight. The weather forecast is calling for 29, but the weather forecast was also insisting that it was 34 when I was sitting in my car looking at the thermometer saying 29. So I'm expecting probably somewhere around 20-ish. I won't die at 20 degree insulation with me. I may not be warm, but I'll be warm enough. And it's a wonderful day so far. We'll see how it goes. Signing off for now, Florida Rider. Howdy folks, Florida Rider here, coming to you from the Sawtooth Trail in FDR State Park in Pine Mountain, Georgia. It's a small offshoot of the Pine Mountain Trail. We decided to make today a slightly short day because we don't want to retrace our steps if we don't have to, coming back from our campsite this evening. And seeing as how we wanted to see the Pine Mountain Trail when we were fairly fresh, we decided to turn a 12-mile day today into a 10-mile. We're about halfway to 2/3 of the way through it. It's turning on towards noon, and it's a balmy 47 degrees out here right now, according to my little thermometer, which has finally started working again. I think the cold killed it earlier, which doesn't bode well for this evening because it's supposed to get down into the 20s. Right now I'm feeling wonderful. I'm a little tired, but not terribly so. I caught a nap after work yesterday before we got on the road. This is a fairly easy, as I almost fall, section of trail that, aside from the leaf cover on it, which prevents you from really seeing all of the rocks that might turn an ankle, is fairly flat, not terribly narrow, and not terribly strewn with anything that keeps you from being able to walk on it. Well, aside from the leaves. Fall hiking. Anyway, having a great time. Florida Rider, signing off. Florida Rider here, folks. Coming to you from, what's the name of the creek again? Bethel Creek Campsite on the Pine Mountain Trail. Thank you, Zach. Just did lunch here. The water sources south and east of here are spotty and intermittent right now, so if anybody's coming through here in a dry spell, make sure that you have enough water before you leave about where the FDR State Park office is, because the water sources between here and there are a little spotty. And on the subject of spotty and things that you leave that almost rhyme with that, if you're gonna take a crap in the woods, bury it. Don't just leave it next to the fire ring. And especially not 20 feet from a water source. I don't know who did that. I'm pretty sure I don't want to know who did that. This ain't rocket surgery. Bury your crap someplace other than next to where people sleep and drink. Florida Rider, signing off. Florida Rider here, folks. I know with the sun behind me, you may not be able to get the best view out of this one, but we're walking through an area that has several severe blowdowns. It's been like that for the last, mile or mile and a half. And it turns out that apparently a tornado came through here back in 2010 or 2011, and it took over 100 volunteers to get this all cleared out. There was a lot of chainsaw work to be done. I mean, look at this. In just 10 feet of trail. It was definitely backbreaking labor, and my thanks go out to the Pine Mountain Trail volunteers. Signing off for now. Good morning, fellow Formites. Florida Rider here, coming to you from FDR State Park in Georgia on the Pine Mountain Trail. Spent this evening at the, I'm going to have to put it up on screen afterwards. I don't remember the name of the campsite. It got down to a balmy 31 last night, and I've got coffee going from the hammock. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We got 12 miles to cover today, and I'm hoping to make it into camp before 4 in the afternoon, mostly because it looks like we're going to be dealing with rain otherwise, which means we're going to have about 8 hours on trail to cover 12 miles. That shouldn't be too hard, especially given the terrain and the weather. It's not particularly hot, as I say as I shiver here. I gotta pull my top quilt back up over me. This is a little cold. Anyway, I don't know why I'm this chilly this trip, but I am. Normally I eat up 30-degree weather. I love it. But, well, this time, not so much. I don't know. Time for some hot coffee. Signing off for now, Florida Rider. After some discussion with my hiking partner Zach, we decided to leave the forest on Monday rather than deal with the forecasted 30 hours of rain headed our way. This meant a slightly longer day than we'd initially intended upon, but was probably the correct decision safety-wise. It's about 11 in the morning right now, and we're running about an hour ahead of schedule to be able to make it back to the car today on time. We're doing great on time. I'm feeling wonderful. The knees are a little tight, but not painful. It is a gorgeous 45 degrees out here right now. I've got my sleeves rolled up because we're rolling pretty hard, and we're about to come up on the road here, judging by the sound of the semi that just drove past. This is Florida Rider, signing off. Pine Mountain Trail just west of the offices for the FDR State Park. And there is a gorgeous little area that's been cleared out here. That right there alone made this whole trip worth it, even if I hadn't have been having fun the rest of the time. Florida Rider, signing off. Florida Rider here, folks, back at the car. It's been a wonderful 2 days, had a great time. My knees are a little sore, but not terrible. And we're gonna make the 5-hour drive home. I'll see you all on the next one. Signing off.
I was new. A girl in New York City, she had nice rounded curvy hips. But I took a look at her brassiere, and it said the number 36. It was then. My heart was broke, for I knew she wouldn't be all mine. I'd have to split her up with other fellas. 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 18, or 9. Thank you. Those are the factors of 36 in a song.